During these visits, multiple inappropriate things took place. The visit that took place at 6:06 p.m. at the 1524 marker, IP Shirilla shows her breasts to the visitor. Then at 2108, the visitor shows her a appendage of a male that's made of rubber and latex, and sometimes girls put them in, dishwashers to clean them. 58 pages. That is the amount of disciplinary reports that Mackenzie Shirilla has been able to acquire since she's been in jail. 58 pages. Bro, I know this little shit was a badass kid in school. She was the worst. Her mom already admitted to Mackenzie Shirilla getting into fistfights with her teachers, cussing them out, calling them stupid bitches and brokies and all types of shit, calling them ugly. Man, she transferred that bullshit right over to prison. And her mom always says, no, she's a great girl, though. She's such a wonderful girl. The only thing is her mouth. Listen, there's a few more things than just Mackenzie's mouth that gets her into trouble, and we're going to find out today. I was able to obtain 58 pages worth of conduct reports, and they're all bad. And she's always mouthing off. She's doing mad sexual shit with people. This little harlot junkie has been having the time of her life in prison. She's been in here popping pills, saving nudie magazines underneath her bed, having little sexual voice calls with ex-girlfriends who left jail. I'm talking, showing off the piece. She has her girlfriend in the camera showing off her piece, getting completely naked, telling her, this is what I'm about to run up inside you with, for lack of better words. Listen. She's doing the most. She is having the time of her life. But listen, all this is happening, but I keep coming back to one thought. 15 years and then probation. 15 years until you have the possibility of parole. Just 15. Wait until the parole board comes around and they see these 58 pages and counting. It'll probably be 100 by the time she's eligible. Just wait until the parole board comes around and they see this shit. She's going to stay in there for a very, very long time. I used to think that the parents were going to seal her fate. No. Let's just keep it real. The parents are their own people. Mackenzie has already sealed her fate with the type of inmate that she is. Just a defiant little bitch. Let's check this thing out, man. We got a lot to go through today. Let's do it. So we're coming up on our first conduct report, ladies and gentlemen, and I am so excited to convey this information to you. I've seen it in the comments. AG, go over the conduct report. The conduct report is live. I hear you loud and clear, and now we are here. So let's check this out. Conduct report number 1. Mind you, I'm going to read you the highlights. Come out to my live stream tonight. We're about to go crazy. We're going to have some shots, some ganja. We're going to talk about it, and we'll read through the whole entire conduct report. But as of now, we're covering the highest in status, I should say. So number 1, we have conduct report, name Shirilla Mackenzie F. I wonder what her middle name stands for, what the F stands for. We have her case number, date of violation, time of violation, location of violation. Okay, so every conduct report is going to give you like a detailed description of where and how and when. Now in the first one, right off the bat, we got some bullshit. It says, on the above date and approximate time, I, Officer Bryce, was conducting my random bed searches. During my search on inmate Shirilla, blah, 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 I found 2 pairs of altered state pants, a fan with the name and number blank, so that's somebody else's stuff that they're not supposed to be passing around between each other. It says a fan with the name and number blank, crossed out, and Shirilla written on the same side, and 4 nude magazine pictures. For this, I will be charging her with a 12.3 possession of another IP property, and a 12.7 possession of contraband EOR. So that's just the first one. First time we meet Mackenzie in jail, she has nude mags. Now, I'm not sure if this is like some gay for the stay type of shit, because Mackenzie does not strike me as a girl's girl, if for lack of better words. She doesn't strike me as someone who would be attracted to girls, but I mean, listen, when you go to jail, I guess all bets are off. She got nude mags, and I don't think it's of dudes. Understand what I'm saying? And I'm gonna explain to you why I don't think it's of dudes. So then we go down and we come to a section where it's called the hearing report. So there's always going to be the offense and then the hearing. The offense and then the hearing. So this is what she got because she did that. This is the punishment she receives because she did that. You're not going to believe the type of punishment she gets. Let's check it out. So we have the hearing officer's report, same stuff, Mackenzie Shirilla, the date, everywhere else like that. And it says possession of another incarcerated person, possession of property, possession of any other contraband, including any article knowingly possessed which has been altered or of which permission has not been given. And that's going to be a reoccurring theme for Mackenzie. She thinks she's a model. She thinks she's Miss Congeniality, Vogue model, whatever the fuck, right? So she's always going to be fined. Almost in every single one of these reports, there's going to be a little addition on the side, altered clothing. And that's just who she is. That's how she's going to be, and she's never going to stop doing it. Inmate statement. She says, I did have the fan and pants, was turned into quartermaster, and I was charged. I don't understand what she means. I did have the fan and pants, was turned into quartermaster, and I was charged. So it's sounding like she doesn't feel as though she was rightfully charged in this. But anyways, they found her guilty, and she got what? 30 days commissary restriction. Let me pause real quick. This is the first instance, right? Just to give you guys a little taste of what we're getting into. She had the nudie mag, she had contraband from another individual, and she had altered clothing. She got 30 days commissary restriction. I don't even know what restriction means in terms of commissary. Does that mean I can't get any, or you're restricting me from a certain section of commissary? Long story short, that's what she just got. It hurt me a little bit. It stung. It was annoying, but it's not memorable. They're slapping her on the wrist every time. Let's move to another one. So before we even get too deep into the whole wild, wild west of the Mackenzie Shirilla files, I just wanted to show you what I meant by the alteration of clothing and her being just defiant overall, right? There was another conduct report that happened. Remember, there's conduct report, then hearing. There's always going to be a hearing after the conduct. I feel like she's just doing bullshit so she could have a change in scenery. Maybe she gets to go and see a staff of people who judge her and it's just a change of scenery. I don't know, because I've never seen someone with this many conduct reports in such a small span of time. It says on 11/11/2024, at approximately 12:40 p.m., Officer Graham and I were stopping incarcerated individuals for random searches. Inmate Shirilla was stopped and voluntarily handed over a block of cheese and a package of noodles from her hoodie. Inmate Shirilla was also not wearing a state shirt to CFS, making her out of dress code. In addition, she was wearing an altered state hoodie with beads on it. If you ask me if that was Mackenzie, I would say guaranteed it is. An altered state jacket with beads on it, yep, that's Mackenzie. She thinks she's a model. So do her friends. Remember that girl who went on Netflix and she was like, oh yeah, I'm a model. I take pictures for, man, all you guys are fucking jokes and bums is what it seems like to me. Anyway, so she had hoodie with beads on it. I'm charging inmate Shirilla with a 16.3 for coming to CFS out of dress code. I'm assuming CFS is like general area. 12.7 for possession of contraband. Officer Sean Lab called me from Hale and advised that inmate Shirilla did have a state shirt on underneath the two hoodies. Regardless, inmate Shirilla deliberately had her collar tucked in and shirt to make it appear she did not have her state shirt on. So what is that saying? You know, she's just all, like I said, it feels like she's altering things just to be singled out. Why would you want so much smoke with the people who run your life? It's like going up to your boss and intentionally making him feel uncomfortable or making mean jokes about him. He's kind of giving you a paycheck. It's not the best idea. Why would you do that to someone who literally has control over every aspect of your life? It's not even like your boss. That's a bad comparison. This person controls when you shit, when you piss, when you eat. But no, you want to contraband shit or make it even look like you have contraband, even if you don't. Mackenzie's an idiot. I know she feels like she's fighting the system and, you know, fighting against the tyrants. But listen, all this is going to do is tack on an extra 5 years to your parole eligibility. All this is going to do is tack on another 2-3 years over time. So anyways, hearing goes off, and this is what they had to say. Disposition, other, 30 days package restriction. So now they're cutting her off from receiving packages from mommy. They're cutting off her commissary. But Mackenzie, I don't think she really cared. Let's move on to another report that might blow you away a little bit. There was an inmate who used to be in there with Mackenzie. Eventually, I hope to cover that as well because she's been speaking recently. And this inmate came to visit her one time, or, you know, to do the video calls and all that. And man, did they have a steamy session. Oh, did they have a steamy session, bro. Let me just read it to you. I don't want to reenact it. Let me just read it to you. Let's check this out. So we move over to this conduct report, and it reads, on or above date and time, I, Officer Miller, was reviewing via path visits when selecting on IP blank. It was, in fact, not IP blank. It was only IP Shirilla 11178. During these visits, multiple inappropriate things took place. So just to point that out, IP blank is the person who registers to talk to Mackenzie, is what I believe, right? So what Mackenzie did is she used a false person who was approved to talk to her, and then somebody took their place. Who do you think facilitated that? There's only so many people in Mackenzie's life who could do that on the outside. Was it Natalie Shirilla? I don't know. But all I know is Natalie has contact with all the little simps who love to talk to Mackenzie. So I'm sure Natalie knows something about this. Just a theory, though, right? When selecting on IP blank, it was in fact not IP blank. It was only Mackenzie Shirilla. During these visits, multiple inappropriate things took place. The visit that took place at 6:06 p.m. at the 1524 marker, IP Shirilla shows her breast to the visitor. Then at 2108, the visitor shows her a appendage of a male that's made of rubber and latex, and sometimes girls put them in, dishwashers to clean them. Okay, you guys get what I'm saying. Just read the fucking text and you'll know what I mean. I don't think YouTube allows that. Then at 2108, the visitor shows a dill pickle. Then lastly, at 2253, the visitor shows her breast. Oh, it is getting steamy in this bitch. It is getting steamy. It smells like fish and perfume in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Then the visit at 742 at the 2401 marker, the visitor shows her breast with a DIL sticking out of her pants twice. Then at 2517, the visitor's Then at 2517, the visitor sets the phone up, walks into the frame completely undressed. This shit is like a steamy novella or some shit, man. Like, goddamn. We having a good time in prison. Prison is wonderful. No, it's not. There was a total of 7 video visits taking place between IP Shirilla and this visitor, all taking place on IP blank account. So again, Who set that up, would you say? I don't know. I'm not blaming Natalie Shirilla. All I know is Natalie, from the phone calls, is in contact with all her little male friends, all her little god friends who got out of jail. Do you think that that mysterious individual didn't have contact with Natalie? Okay. All right. Okay. So what did she get for that? Drum roll. What did she get for that? Absolutely fucking nothing. It says other 60 days video visiting restriction. They didn't put her in the hole. They didn't take her tablet. They gave her a video visit restriction. The next time I go to jail, I'm whipping my dick out. Shit. They're only going to give me 60 days. So man, shit. My next prison visit? No, I'm playing. But let's keep it going, man. I felt like that was wild, and I thought they would at least give her like some hole time, 30 days in the hole, isolation, something. Nah. Get back on the yard, Kinsey. You're okay. Wow. Life is good if you're pretty and you live in Ohio, I guess. So let's keep going. Now, you know what they say, when you go to jail, everybody's like, oh, well, like, for example, when someone's like a drug addict and they finally go to jail, they're like, oh, at least they went to jail. At least they went to jail. They'll get sober. I don't wish jail on anyone, but at least he'll be sober and it'll save his life. That's not reality, guys. That is not reality. I'm sad to tell y'all that's not real. When you go to jail, you might become a drug addict. You might go in being a normal person. You might come out being addicted to opioids. You never know. And that's what it's seeming like Mackenzie Shirilla is doing. She's speed running addiction, and good on her. What else is there to do anyway? She's speed running addiction because they did another raid in her cell. Remember, there's 56 incident reports or 56 pages of incident reports. So they raid her cell a lot. On one particular time, they raid her cell and they find all types of prescriptions, man. Shorty is in here having the time of her life. Without further ado, let's check this one out. Conduct report. Shirilla, Mackenzie. You know what I mean? We go down. It says charged rules 10.6 and 12.7. A random bed search was conducted on IP Shirilla number 111780. During search, a packet of unknown medication was found with the name of individual prescribed. So individual prescribed is not Mackenzie. It's the individual prescribed, right? IP Shirilla admitted to using the meds and that they weren't hers. Also, she had personal photo of herself containing drug use. So remember, they have tablets. Just like the pictures we saw with her putting the mushroom on her tongue, she's in there putting the pills on her tongue and taking a picture on the tablet. You fucking idiot. You imbecile. Just like your mommy. Just like your daddy. Bunch of imbeciles. Who does that? I can understand you're doing illegal drugs in your home and you don't care and you take a picture for the gram. It's kind of stupid, but people do it. You're going to do that while you're living with the police? You live with them. Oh, yeah, let me take a picture while I pop this Adderall, you stupid bitch. Anyway, it's probably not Adderall. It's probably like some type of downer or some shit. Who knows what they be doing in jail? Anyways, there's a photo of herself containing drug use. For this reason, she's being charged with a 10.6 misuse of authorized medication for pills and a 12.7 possession of any other contraband, including any article knowingly possessed, which has been altered or which permission has not been given for the photo. And once again, I think they're talking about they probably found some clothes that were altered in her cell because she cannot go without altering something. So they found drugs in her cell. Let's see what she got, right? Let's see what she got. Mind you, she's probably in one of the easiest prisons to do time in. Finding, guilty. Disposition, other. 30-day bed cell restriction. That seems like the first serious charge, in my opinion. 30-day cell restriction seems pretty good. So that's probably the equivalent of the whole you can't come out 24/7, I'm assuming. I would hope so. Maybe she has 1 hour to get out. But that's what she got for having all those drugs from another inmate. I feel like they're playing patty cake with her. They're playing softball with her, and I don't think that's just at all. You know, this is the first time we're really, well, not the first time, but this is one of the few times that we're getting to see how people are living in jail after they go to jail. Usually we'll cover a case, they're put in jail and it's happily ever after, lights off. We don't know what happens to them. But the fact that we know what's happening with Mackenzie and she's having it this easy, I hope the parole board takes that into consideration and tacks on another 5 years. I mean, she's having a good time anyway. Might as well stay an extra 5, 10. If you're having a great time, there's no need to rush out, right? Let's move forward. So we all know that Mackenzie is deeply in love with every time she goes to a new cell block, it seems like she finds, her prison mama to pull the pocket of. That's what it seems like. She finds the most authoritative female. She goes ahead and pulls that pocket and she clings on to it. That's what it seems like, and this is what we're going to see right here, because she had another conduct report, and it says right here, while reviewing video visits, I witnessed that inmate Shirilla 1111780 was doing a video visit with an ex-inmate that was released. I noticed that the video ID name for the visitor was not who the person that was doing the video visit with. The visitor name is blank, and that is the approved visitor on the DOTS. The actual person that is doing the visit is blank. Blank is not an approved visitor and should not be visiting with Shirilla. They have had over 100 video visits. The visitor has been made applicant and is blocked on GTL. I have attached the snapshot of the video showing that the visitor is blank, Jingle ORW. So the visitor has been made applicant and is blocked on GTL. So basically what I'm taking from this is Mackenzie's not supposed to be talking to this person because they probably had inappropriate things happening while she was in jail, right? So when they get out, they probably still want to keep you separated. Mackenzie's over here faking. So who else could it be? That's why I keep saying this is the second time this incident popped up. I want you guys to tell me what you think in the comments, but I'm trying to figure out who else could be the person lying, saying that we're visiting as me, and then I'm giving my credentials to another person to talk to that person. Who else would be doing that other than Mackenzie's family? Like, I don't know if I explained it properly. Like, imagine I leave jail. I'm restricted from talking to my girlfriend that's in jail. I'm a girl, right? I'm restricted from talking to my girlfriend who's in jail. What would I do? I would probably reach out to her mom. Her mom's not restricted, of course. And I would be like, hey, listen, I really want to talk to Mackenzie. I really miss her. I love her so much. Maybe, I'm not saying she's doing that, but maybe mom would be like, hey, well, this is my sign-in ID. You could just say you're me, and then you could talk to her that way. I don't see any other way that this is possible other than Mackenzie's parents. And for legal purposes, I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but it's fishy. But anyways, so this happened, and let's see what Mackenzie got for her, for her big punishment. 30 days electronic restriction. God damn it. Yo, this jail is summer camp, bro. All the kids are having a really great time at summer camp. Y'all seen the pictures of all the... It seems like everybody's having a great time over there. This shit is outrageous. I'm going to read a couple more incident reports because this is extremely long. And then we'll probably have to chop this up into multiple videos, maybe 2. But let's move forward. Let me get to another report that might blow your mind a little bit more. Now, this is one incident that Mackenzie Shirilla was never convicted for, but it really does show the type of person she is, okay? We come back to the whole contraband attire situation. Mackenzie loves wearing shit she's not supposed to wear. Let me read this incident report. It says, I approached IP Shirilla while she was in a case manager Jones' office to take her to the restroom to see if she was properly dressed. IP Shirilla was previously in Mr. Ream's office, and he had asked her for her hoodie as it was altered and considered contraband. Of course it was. IP stated that he couldn't have it because she wasn't dressed properly under her hoodie. When I told her I was taking her to the restroom to make sure she was dressed properly so I could take her hoodie, she stated, if he got a boner from the way I'm dressed, that's his fault. As she got to the door of Miss Jones' office, she told Miss Jones to come with us to the restroom because she didn't feel comfortable. When we got into the IP restroom, IP Shirilla unzipped her hoodie and her state shirt was completely unbuttoned with just a sports bra on. She was instructed to button her shirt and give her altered hoodie. The whole time we were in the restroom, she was very disrespectful and talked with a loud tone, asking if this was all we were worried about was her altered jacket. This IP had several conduct reports for contraband clothing. She has been given new state uniforms in exchange for the altered clothes. Her hoodie was clearly taken in on the sides and was very form-fitting on this. So that's the whole very form-fitting. Sorry if I jacked up that whole paragraph, but you guys get the gist, right? She has a very tight hoodie on with her state shirt unzipped, walking around a whole bunch of dudes basically trying to honeypot them, trying to bait and switch them. You know what I'm saying? Trying to throw some ass out in the world to maybe hopefully get some reciprocation. Mackenzie's not an idiot. She's trying to find that one sucker, that one little simp sucker who falls for it, and she's going to try to get things out of him. Now, again, she wasn't charged for this. I think they tried to charge her for it, but it just was too much. It was too much bullshit. Actually, I'll go down and show you guys. We had a hearing officer's report, and then at the end of it, it says this is a duplicate conduct report for case blah, 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 remove ticket. And then I think they passed it on, and they found her not guilty. But the fact that her mindset is like that, bro, it's scary, man. She knows exactly what she's doing. Anyways, we're going to do one more. We're going to do one more, bro, because we all know about her ex-girlfriend outside. You know, they're doing voice calls. They're getting naked. They're showing titties. They're pulling out big power tools that are meant to go inside of one another. They're doing all types of shit. But Mackenzie also has some little lovers on the inside as well. This is a popular girl. Let me read this to you. Conduct report. On 8/1/25, Officer Dennis was conducting a round on the 300 side of the unit at approximately 10:50 a.m. When I was in the third bay, I saw IP Blank removing her hand from IP Shirilla's buttocks region. For this reason, I am writing them a 3.3 consensual sexual conduct. And that's all I just want to leave you guys with. You know, she getting passed around, blasted around, all types of shit. She is the prison harlot and the junkie. You know, I'm really assuming, this is just an assumption, you know, this is all alleged, right? I'm really assuming, you know, they're paying her with pills and shit. Like, hey, you know, you let me do this to you, I'll give you this much. You let me do that, I'll give you this. Oh, man. Mackenzie's having a wonderful time in prison, man. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hype the video if you're trying to see some more of this. It's a lot going on in there. It's a lot going on. I'll see you real soon. Stay inside, stay safe, man. Call up your kids. Call them up and ask them what they're up to. Make sure they're not doing no dumb shit like this. See you later.